Welcome back. For this question here, let's solve yet another example in the study of resolution of vector in 2D. This one here says we're asked to find the magnitude and we're asked to find the resultant force and its magnitude and then the direction. So what do you do in this case? First, my first task is to, if you observe here, I have more than one forces here. So I have one force here at an angle, 120 force and an angle here. I have another force here, 150 at an angle. So here's the task and concept. Identify the force. Which one is F1, which is F2, F3? Because I have more than one force here. So I'll call 18 Newton F1. So my F1, I'm taking F1 as 80 Newton. The angle theta1, what's my angle of F1? 40 degrees. That's 40 degrees. F2, take F2 as 120 Newton. Theta 2 gives about, now for 120 Newton, the angle here is 30. So I can't take 30 as total angle for force 120. Total angle will be everything from here to the horizontal, because this force is to the horizontal. So I'm taking everything here. That gives you 30 degree plus 40 degree. That gives you 70 degrees. So I'm saying that theta 2 is what? Of course, 30 plus 40. That gives you is 70 degrees. F3, take F3 as 150 Newton. Take theta 3 has been 35 degrees. So my first task, identify F1, F2, F3, theta 1, theta 2, and theta 3 as illustrated above. All right, at this point here, observe that F1 and F2 are in my first quadrant. It means both f of x, f of y will be positive. I'm saying this, go back to this concept. I'm saying this. First quadrant, we said positive x, positive y. Second quadrant, we have what? Negative x and what? Positive y. I showed you this stuff. So I'm having just first quadrant and second quadrant for this question alone. So first quadrant, second quadrant. It means whatever I'm having here for both f of x and f of y will be positive. At this second quadrant, whatever I'm having here for the x will be negative, the y will be what? Positive of y. All right, we have this here. So from this point here, let's start calculating, please. We are asked to find resultant force, right? So I'm saying that calculating now, calculating for resultant force before the magnitude. So resultant force, FR equal to what? Summation f of x plus summation f of y. All right, I have this, please. This is my formula. In case you want to put in vector form, just put I and J and put your arrow here. But let's proceed, please. From here, I need f of x, I need f of y. Let's start with f of x, please. So,
Alright guys, you can now join my channel membership to have access to exclusive videos of mine which most people will not have access to. To get this link, membership program, as you can see the left hand side of the screen, you can see the YX/JAM classes. You can go there. It of course 1,000 naira, or you go for the other level student to have access to both. Right, so once you join the channel membership for other level students, you will have access to both the WAEC and the JAM classes with the other level itself. So do well to join this membership to support our online academic session. See you guys sooner.
summation, let's look for summation of horizontal component. All right. Let's look at summation of horizontal components. Now look up, please. Look up, please. Look up, please. For my F1 and theta 1, F1 theta 1. For F1 theta 1, if I resolve 80 Newton to the horizontal, observe that for this force, the horizontal becomes cos. So I'm saying that summation of f of x will be equal to what? Now, if I resolve F1, that's 80 Newton, to the horizontal, observe that the angle is lying on the horizontal. So it means for this 80 Newton, this F1, it will give me cos. So this I'll have F1 cos theta 1, because theta is theta 1. I've resolved to the horizontal. Also, we said all the x and the y for quadrant 1 were positive. So my x, I'm on horizontal component. Now that's the x part. So if I resolve this force and this angle into horizontal components, I will have f1 cos theta 1. So this one too is at third quadrant. So x is positive plus this is f2. That gives you f2 is a cos of sine. Observe that f2, this is 120 Newton, is inclined to the angle to the what? Horizontal. So it means f of x will be f2 cos theta 2, right? So I have resolved both f1 and f2 in form of horizontal component f of y. Let's resolve this one here. Now for 150 Newton, the force is lying horizontal this way. So f of x is lying on the angle is lying to the f of x. So it becomes cos. So it means that I'll be having f3, but for s-axis for quadrant 2, we said s take but negative. So I'll have negative f3 cos theta 3. Why are they all cos? They are all cos because the angle of each of them is lying on the what? Horizontal. So using the f of x for each of them what? Cos theta. Put in value, summation of f of x equal to f1. F1 is 80. 80 cos theta 1 is 40. Cos 40 plus f2 is 120. 120 cos theta 2 is 70. Finally, minus f3 is of course 150. 150, then cos theta 3 is 35. Take a calculator and point value. Summation f of x will be equal to 80 cos 40. Take my calculator out and get the values. All right, get the values. 80 cos 40, that gives you 61.28 plus 120 cos 70, that gives you 41.04 minus 150 cos 35, that gives you 122.87. Let's get summation of y. Summation f of x per se will be equal to, I'll add this with this and subtract it from this. What do I get as my answer? The answer here gives you negative 20.55 Newton. Of course, if it's vector form, it's x, that gives you I. So this is the value for summation of horizontal component. F of x is done. Let's do for f of y. All right, let's do f of y. Let's look at f of y calculation. So let me take this down. All right, let me take this down. Let's do vertical forces now. Summation of vertical forces. Let's do summation of vertical forces. Summation of vertical component. That's summation f of y. Now look up, please. Look up, please. For f of y, Now, let me go back to my F1 and theta 1. F1 theta 1, if so here's the idea. Automatically, they'll all be in sine because the force and this angle is to the horizontal. F of x becomes cos. Why the other one becomes, the f of y becomes for the sine automatically. So it means I'll have f1 sine theta 1. So this one still gives me plus f2 sine theta 2. Yeah, of course. This one gives me, we said for second quadrant. For second quadrant, we said y is positive, x is negative. So it means that f of y, that's for y axis here, that gives positive what? f3 sine theta 3. Yeah. So I have this place. We said it is positive because at second quadrant, y is positive. So I'm considering my vertical component, that's f of y. So it becomes positive, right? So I have this value here. Putting f of y, summation f of y equal to f1 gives you 80 sine theta 1 gives you 40 plus f2 is 120 sine theta 2 is 70. Finally, plus f3, what's f3 there? 150 sine theta 3 is 35 degrees. Let's get summation f of y. 80 sine 40, calculator and punch. 80 sine 40 gives me about 51.42 plus 120 sine 70 gives about 112.76 plus 150 sine 35, that gives 86.03. Add them up, summation f of y gives about 250.21 Newton. In vector form, I'll just put what? J as this case. So I've gotten summation f of x and summation f of y. Let's get resultant first. So welcome guys. I just launched a course. The course will teach you how to start your own YouTube channel. If you're a teacher also trying to do what I'm doing, you can get this course. The course costs about just 10,000 naira. You can get a course and you start uploading your videos on YouTube. Or if you're a beginner trying to explore YouTube and you're having interest in learning how this YouTube of a thing works, you can do well to get this course. As you can see the banner of this course in the video, in the screen of the video, right? So do well to go and get the YouTube course so you can earn, learn, and also grow your platform. See you guys. If this interests you, do well to message me up or click on the link you see in the video description that says YouTube course. See you guys in next page. Hence, result force, that is FR, is equal to what? Summation f of x. What's f of x? That's this value. Sorry. Okay, f of x has been cleaned off. So f of x is negative 20.55 5i in vector form abi, plus f of y, this one here is about 250.21. Of course, j, I can put a bracket this way and attach Newton to the back. So this is how you calculate for. So this is the value for the resultant force of this particular system. Let's calculate for the magnitude of the resultant force. Let's look for magnitude of the resultant force, please. So take it. All right. Magnitude of the resultant force. Magnitude is about the FR magnitude equal to what? Square root of summation f of x all square plus summation f of y all square. I have given you all these formulas, right? Putting values, perhaps in vector point 1, 2. This one gives you square root of f of x, that's negative in bracket negative 20.55 all square plus into f of y, that's 250.21, of course, all squared. All right, I have this place. Let's get value here. This is equal to the square root of, if I take this stuff square this way, I'll have 422.30. Please ignore negative because if I have minus a all squared, this thing means minus a times minus a. Minus minus gives you plus, a times a gives you a squared. So observe that if I have negative, because what? My answer becomes positive back. So when this negative is taken away, just square this value. You have this plus, I will square this one here too. If I square this one, I have about 6261 0.04 as the value here. I will sum them up and see what we get. This gives you about square root of, so I'll sum these two up. What do I get there? That gives about 63032.34. Take the square root of this value. I'll have that the magnitude of resultant force, will be equal to square root of this value, gives about, if I punch calculator, I have 251.06, of course, in Newton. This is the value for the resultant force of this of the particular diagram I just erased, right? So let's get the direction, right? So let's look for direction. So I'll take this man off and look for direction for that.
Guys, I just launched some courses on my website. These courses include physics tutorial for year 1 student, YX/JAM student, YX/JAM classes for JAM student, and also I have the organic chemistry for beginners. So these courses, you can get these courses on my website, as you can see displayed at the right hand side of the screen.
So let's go for direction, please. So for direction, we said this man gives you theta equal to the tan inverse of summation f of y over summation f of x. Putting values, this gives you theta is equal to the tan inverse of f of y. F of y is this value here. Yeah. This value here, that's 250.21 all over f of x gives you this value, that's a negative 20.55. At this level in your studying career, it's expected that you should know that negative sign should not be under this way, denominator. So I'll take this man up this way. That gives about theta equal to the tan inverse of negative 250.21 all over 20.55. This shows you are mature in mathematics. So I'll divide these two values and see what we get. This gives theta equal to the tan inverse of, divide these two, what do I get? This gives about negative 12.176. Of course, I have this. If I divide this two, I'll have this value. Now, listen and listen. There are some things in life that can never be negative. For instance, angle can never be negative. It can be negative, probably trying to show the direction of that angle is towards the negative region. But in application, does not mean it's negative. So I'm saying that If I want to punch calculator now, I can ignore the negative. So I'm saying that theta will be equal to what? Tan inverse of 12.176. If I punch calculator, this gives about theta is equal to 85 point, perhaps, okay, 85.30 degrees. My answer normally was should be, it should be negative, because negative sign here, comes here. But we said angle can never be negative. So take away negative sign, I have this as my direction value. This is how you solve this particular problem, is looking for its magnitude and then its direction. Let's look at example 3 in our next video.
I just launched a book called The Shortcut to Academic Success. In this book, I share a lot of experience on how I evaluated during my time in school. This method really helped me a lot. If you're interested in getting this book, simply chat me up through my WhatsApp number that is shown in the screen,